legendary sea creatures, from ancient myths to modern mysteries. Dive deep into the most famous legends of sea monsters and marine creatures. In this video, we will explore mythical beasts from ancient times, such as the terrifying Kraken and the Loch Ness Monster, all the way to modern-day sightings and interpretations of mysterious sea creatures. Whether it's folklore from ancient sailors or reports from the depths of the ocean, these legends of the deep have captivated our imaginations for centuries. The ocean is vast and mysterious, and throughout history, it has been the setting for some of the most terrifying and fascinating stories of legendary sea creatures. In today's video, we're going to explore the most famous legends of sea monsters, from ancient myths to modern-day sightings. From giant tentacles dragging ships beneath the waves to mysterious creatures lurking in the darkest depths, these legends have shaped our relationship with the sea. Part 1. The Kraken, the monster of the deep. Let's begin with one of the most iconic sea monsters of all, the Kraken. Originating in Norse mythology, the Kraken was described as a gigantic sea creature, often depicted with enormous tentacles, capable of sinking ships and devouring sailors whole. It was feared by ancient mariners who sailed the North Atlantic, believing that a single sighting of the Kraken could mean certain doom. Historians believe the Kraken legend may have been inspired by real-life encounters with giant squids, which can grow to impressive sizes. The Kraken's origins can be traced back to the Nordic sagas, where sailors and fishermen spoke of a monstrous creature that lived in the depths of the North Atlantic Ocean, off the coasts of Norway and Greenland. The creature was described as being so large that it could be mistaken for a small island when it was at rest. Its enormous tentacles were said to reach out from the depths, wrapping around ships and dragging them, and their unfortunate crews, into the abyss. In these ancient tales, the Kraken wasn't just a mere predator. It was a symbol of the uncontrollable forces of nature, embodying the dangers that sailors faced on the open seas. For those who lived by the ocean, where violent storms and unpredictable waters were a constant threat, the Kraken became a representation of the unknown horrors lurking beneath the surface. One of the earliest written accounts of the Kraken comes from King Sverre of Norway in the 12th century, who spoke of a gigantic sea creature that was feared by sailors throughout the region. Later, in the 13th century, the Icelandic saga Orvarods mentioned two great sea monsters, one of which, Hafgufa, is often considered a reference to the Kraken. Descriptions of the Kraken varied depending on the source, but common elements persisted. The creature was typically depicted as an octopus-like or squid-like beast, often with an exaggerated size. In some stories, it was said to be over a mile in diameter, with tentacles capable of encircling entire ships. When the Kraken rose to the surface, its massive body would displace so much water that whirlpools formed, pulling ships into their doom. In fact, sailors believed that spotting the Kraken was a death sentence. Even if the creature didn't directly attack, the turbulence caused by its movement could capsize ships. In some tales, when the Kraken submerged back into the ocean, the suction created by its descent would drag vessels down with it. There were also reports that when the Kraken hunted, it would vomit up a mass of fish to lure other sea creatures into its proximity, making it easier for the beast to feed. This strange detail might have been an exaggeration of real marine phenomena, such as schools of fish disturbed by large predators. Over time, the legend of the Kraken began to blend with real-world marine biology, particularly as naturalists and biologists began to explore the unknown depths of the oceans. By the 18th century, some scholars speculated that the stories of the Kraken might be based on encounters with giant squids or colossal squids, species that were little understood at the time. One of the most famous early scientific discussions of the Kraken came from Carl Linnaeus, the father of modern taxonomy. In his 1735 edition of Systema Naturae, Linnaeus actually classified the kraken as a cephalopod, a category that includes squids and octopuses, though it was removed in later editions as more was learned about real oceanic species. In modern times, the giant squid has become the most likely candidate for the kraken myth. These elusive creatures can grow up to 43 feet, 13 meters, long, with their long tentacles and large, terrifying eyes fitting the classic descriptions of the kraken. While giant squids are rarely seen alive, there have been enough dead specimens washed ashore to confirm their size and existence. In 2004, the first live photographs of a giant squid were taken, further fueling the idea that these animals could be the inspiration for ancient kraken tales. There's even a larger relative, the colossal squid, which is even more massive, though it lives in the deep waters of the Southern Ocean and is less well documented. The kraken's transition from ancient myth to modern legend began with its appearance in 18th and 19th century literature. One of the most famous literary references to the kraken comes from Alfred Lord Tennyson, who wrote a sonnet titled "The Kraken" in 1830. In this poem, Tennyson described the beast as a creature of immense size, slumbering beneath the sea until it rises at the end of time.
Below the thunders of the upper deep, far, far beneath in the abysmal sea, his ancient, dreamless, uninvaded sleep, the kraken sleepeth, faintest sunlights flee. About his shadowy sides, above him swell, huge sponges of millennial growth and height, and far away into the sickly light, from many a wondrous grot and secret cell, unnumbered and enormous polypi, winnow with giant arms the slumbering green. There hath he lain for ages, and will lie, battening upon huge sea worms in his sleep, until the latter fire shall heat the deep, then once by man and angels to be seen. In roaring he shall rise, and on the surface die.
Tennyson's poem helped solidify the kraken as a symbol of the unknown and the monstrous, and it was soon adopted into a wide variety of fictional works. The kraken also made appearances in the works of Jules Verne, particularly in his classic novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, 1870, where Captain Nemo's Nautilus battles a group of giant squids, creatures that bear a striking resemblance to the kraken of Norse myth. In modern times, the kraken has become a staple of pop culture, appearing in films, video games, and TV shows, perfectly capturing the fearsome power associated with the legendary beast. The kraken remains one of the most enduring and captivating legends of the sea, reminding us that some mysteries of the deep are still yet to be discovered.